to get started.
We should get started.
Oh yeah,
I just
We should play
started
a game.
recording.
We're
Don't
not
worry.
just here shooting the shit.
That was the first line. I timed it perfectly.
Oh,
Welcome,
amazing.
excellent.
Welcome back, liners.
Let's go. Welcome
90
back.
minutes late.
Command fucking line.
Yeah,
we are
dude.
getting demonetized. Fucking in the first minute of the video.
Mhm.
Don't fuck in the first minute of the video. You gotta
I'd
have
like to
some
see
build
you
up.
try and stop me,
Even if you're a unicorn.
even if. Yeah, are we gonna meet a unicorn here back in Bible times?
I mean, you know what?
Did we already?
That was kind of my answer.
Wink.
All right.
Is it Emilius?
That's yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Her name is Emilius. By line.
Emilius.
Like iCarly.
That's the one.
Yeah, I think you got it.
That's the unicorn right
yeah,
there.
I think you got it.
I know. You'll see.
They grow them in cosgroves.
Oh my god.
All right, next bit. Next bit.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Well, now that you've cringed, what shall we bing?
Yep. Wow.
What?
That's
What?
a throwback.
Cut?
That's a
What
throwback.
deep cut.
Deep cut?
Oh. That's a deep
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah. That was a.
We'll explain it in the post show.
No, I'm not afraid to say that was a Kringus Bingus reference. Shout out if you're watching the show and you know who Kringus Bingus is. Robo,
Internet
post,
superstar Kringus Bingus.
Yeah, Robo, post the
Kringus
intro.
Bingus.
Shout out to Kringus Bingus. God damn.
They post the intro. I'm typing it right now
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm very professional. Always never type things out ahead of time.
You're also very far away from the microphone.
It's actually in my throat. That's because I'm reaching past it.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
Shout out anybody who can read this.
No one can.
Shout
read
out
that,
anybody
I
who
don't
gets in the throat.
Yeah. Shout out anybody who can get it in the throat.
This is the distance,
Yeah.
speed, and time graph.
think. For
The
what?
distance, speed, and time triangle.
Okay.
It's my stream isn't clear enough to really read it.
Yeah, that's
Just-
Distance, speed, and time. What? I'm not familiar with what this thing is that you have.
Really?
Distance, speed, and time triangle. I don't.
Well, what is the relationship between those three things?
I mean, when some of them increase, others of them decrease, and vice versa. Is that what I'm looking for? Is that the correct answer?
Yeah, basically, it's like speed is distance over time.
boom, distance, speed, time triangle. If you want to calculate distance, you do speed by time. If you want to calculate
Yes.
time, you do
I understand now.
yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. I've never seen it presented that way before.
Me neither.
That is how it was first presented to me in school,
Interesting.
and I've literally never forgotten it.
I mean, it's a very clear graphical representation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. I got it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Who wants a read? Who wants a read?
I read last time.
Yes, I read last time.
I read the time before that.
Command Line Season 2, Episode 6. The Buddha Beneath the Bodhi. You see about death, the reality of approaching death. People are apt to feel chilly, cold, lonely, scared because it is an unknown. The most frightening thing about death is that there might be something beyond it, and you don't know what it is.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Now we can do the recap. I didn't need Simon to tell me how to do it.
Yay! Finally, we did it! Victory.
Just play. Just quick. Someone play. Cue the Madden song, the Madden NFL theme.
I have no knowledge of this. I
the
know that it
Monday Night
exists,
Football.
but that
Yeah.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
It's Monday Night Football. Please go ahead.
So last time we met a past version of a lady.
You're starting at the end again. Starting at the end. You
Yeah,
guys know
every
this
time
right.
it's tradition.
We met a past version of a past, potentially alternate version of a lady who we know from the future twice.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of seemed to be going through it after she got in a fight with a big lightning guy. She was kind of like in the middle of dying as we entered her secret cave grotto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hashed it out.
Did you? What did you hash out?
Some stuff.
Okay, so going back to basics, going back to 0 in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
We open on we march out to the coast, to the place that we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
The other coast. And we start building boats out of reeds. I talk to Hoshama, ask him about what's up, and he's like, I shouldn't be trusted to lead. And I'm like, dude, it's fine.
Yeah, because he got some like fire shit going on in his head.
Yeah.
Never forget the sacrifice.
Never forget the sacrifice.
Never forget the sacrifice. I am now Jack Efron.
Jack Efron.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Jack.
Yeah, that was. Let's see. You guys did some stuff. I taught children that trees are alive.
Mm-hmm. And should be respected as such.
Yeah. We.
Unless it is, unless you would disrespect them in immediate, protection of your life.
Yeah, it's like climbing on a person.
Yeah.
So that you can like get over a wall or something.
Mm-hmm.
We got on some boats. We
before that
paddled for a while.
Before that.
Oh yeah.
Sheila and Zalan had a very very intense conversation about our indulging of vices to get cool crab claw parts.
Zalan can't help himself but stuff crabs into his mouth. We gonna start the apocalypse about it.
Yeah, he was living his best life.
I kept track of how many. He's got 2 more before we're all dead. He can eat 2 more things.
I mean, he's got 2 more before he loses control on himself. We have to do something about it.
By eating the second thing, I think he's gonna kill us all.
Perhaps.
Are we gonna die though?
You might.
I might.
You might eat us.
I feel like y'all are strong enough to not get eaten.
Well,
okay,
that just
but
makes
like
it
a lot of
just fine.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do relies on the power of 3. Like we need to have a charmed time when that requires 3 of us. You dig?
Is this some reference?
You never watched Charmed?
No, I'm not 30. I don't know.
Okay.
Charmed.
Well, don't worry about it then.
Okay.
We're
Okay,
punchy today.
so
We're punchy
we-
today.
Yeah. We cross the sea, and the storms are like, stop it. And they shoot us with lightning, which makes things cold.
Yeah,
And then we get
isolate. I use my sword to try to like quell the waves, and when I try to do that a lot,
Mhm.
it froze us in an ice bubble.
and then made us
which-
sink, which
yeah.
was a little counterintuitive, but led to some cool moments of us almost drowning. And then all three of us tried to warp jump. We tried to backward long jump our way out of there and to the angel, the sun shard.
Yeah, the thing that we were traveling towards since like first session of
Yeah.
season 2.
And didn't go so hot for us.
Yeah, we made it most of the way there, but brought ourselves and the entire flock into like a spooky dungeon full of Scrooge McDuck treasure hoard and a Cyclops.
Yeah,
Golem.
half the flock fell out of our pockets on the way, and we had to
Yeah.
go and pick them up.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody was okay.
Yeah, everybody was fine.
Jack did a cool maneuver to save
Batsua.
yeah, I was gonna try to come up with some funny thing like the Cindy Lou Who of the gang, just the littlest little girl who you ever did see.
Mm-hmm.
The
Cindy
Shirley
Lou
Temple-
Who
the
is a
Shirley
good comparison.
Temple- The Shirley Temple of the group.
Oh, there was a moment in which I, while fighting that golem, went to like transmit myself, teleport closer to it, and in transit, I lost. I lost my heavenly sword. It was like
PS3
snatched.
launch game Heavenly Sword.
Yeah, it was like snatched from me in transit, which turned out to be important later because after we beat the big golem and Zalan ate a heart that was in its eye, and we had a little fight about that. We went deeper into the cave to find the sword and the sun shard, who was this big angel lady who's Emily from the past, presumably.
Aenelius and potentially Lucifer.
Yeah, I think that's some sort of Lucifer allegory, if not,
There's allegories every which way around here.
Yeah, we're playing fast and loose with Rumba, you're definitely cultivating one of my favorite types of storytelling, which is what if like the Bible was mostly right, but like they just got some of like the nitty-gritty details wrong.
And like I have words about that, but
Sure.
We got words.
I wouldn't put it in such terms, but go with you.
7.
Nerd.
7. 7.
Yeah. She wasn't named. She didn't have the name Emily until you spoke to her.
Yeah.
She
was dying and bleeding to death, and etc. She snipped her connection to the heavens with the sword, and we were like, "You're our friend from the future. We're gonna heal you," and we like donated her some points of connection.
Yeah, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that caused a thing to happen.
Yeah.
That
after she
that
faded away.
Her name that put her name in your book.
Yeah,
yes, she gave me the book.
Mm-hmm. That book's cool. It's got names of lots of people in it.
Presumably everyone currently alive and recently alive.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
That was also my interpretation of it.
I was fiddling my phone.
Yeah, and playing the album. We donated some of our good boy points to her as she like was fading from life, and which I think might have helped the sword not be totally completely evil after we got it back from her, just like a little evil, because where it was like a beautifully lustrous gold thing, the blade at like the inner part of the blade is now black, and it was refusing to go back in its sheath until I tried sufficiently hard enough to get it back in there.
Yeah.
What I'll say is that you didn't see what she did with the sword. You basically like came around a corner as she was like putting it back in the sheath.
That's true. She may have done something to it beforehand, and that didn't have an effect.
Yeah. It only like fell out a little bit when she like just dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
And even yet, it like refused to go back in when I tried to push it in.
Yeah.
That sword's hungry.
Yo, Zalan, what was that thing? Rattle off the name of the thing that you ate out of the golem.
The golem core.
There you go. Is that
Which
what
was like
called?
a weird, like glowing wax heart or something.
It was clear.
It was
Yeah.
translucent.
Mm-hmm. You know, just the resin heart.
It was like it was like gulping down a water baby, like a obi.
yeah. Same
Just like
kind of mouthfeel for sure on
slurp.
that.
like slurping a like slurping down a good old lubricated water balloon
Mm-hmm.
just right down the throat into your gut where it just sits forever.
Forever is a long time. I feel like it doesn't do that.
Nah, dude, if you swallow your gum, it stays in your guts for 7 years, dude. Don't you know?
That's bullshit, right?
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, it would take. Yeah. It would take 7 years to break down, but it just passes. It's fine.
Because you don't digest it, and then it just goes through. Okay.
Yeah,
the moon is pink now.
The moon's pink.
The moon is pink. That is so true.
That's really important.
That is oh
and
shit!
probably really bad.
I forgot about that. Oh my
because
God.
if the moon's pink, that means the sun's red. If we're working with normal rules, if normal rules apply about suns and about the sun and the moon of Earth, that means the sun is red.
Yeah, that's a yipes.
Which is like not a good thing.
Yeah. Also, the sun set early today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you'd have plenty of time for crossing. That did not occur.
Yeah. And the point we're at now, the guidance that we have is like, okay, when the conductor was like embodied in Hoshama, he told us to meet a woman of no renown, a sorcerer from another world, and the first man. Presumably we've met that first lady. Is that lady that we just met?
Mm-hmm.
Amelius told us to go find a guy whose name she pointed out in the book. Dr. Hantayumi, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Who's presumably the second guy in that little prophecy that we were given about, oh, these are the 3 people you have to meet. Because this is like a fairy tale.
Yeah. Then she died and we watched her reincarnate.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. The flock like said like a prayer for her.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a big, morning ritual.
Yep, and
That's
then
pretty cool.
and then you left out through a cave out into the wastes.
Yeah, left the Scrooge McDuck treasure hoard.
Yeah.
Did we take any treasure? Did we think that would be valuable?
No,
Or, like,
I don't think we did.
helpful at all? Probably not.
I mean, we know like human dudes exist. Maybe that gold could be useful, but
What I'd say to you is you don't have pockets.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You don't even have pockets, let alone bags. Like,
right.
you guys don't wear clothes really. You guys have like a robe that you have because you're, I don't know.
Because we're big deals.
However you decided
special
to
boys.
stylize yourself. If you want to say that your character is just naked all the time, that's chill.
I think we all agree that that's not what any of us are doing.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
agreed to that in session 1.
I did not think that all of us were naked. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought you guys have cloaks. Everyone else is just like, they're just a furry.
Right.
Mhm.
They're just a cat's looking ass mother heckin' furry.
Yeah.
Mother heckin'.
I'm glad yeah. I'm glad you took that. Glad you have taken that.
Yeah.
Stage play.
Right.
Yep. Before we dive into session, I'm going to read my card of
Mhm.
game tenets.
Which
Please
is
do.
slowly growing over time.
Slowly growing over time, yes. Remember, you are magic. Remember your mission. Neither can win, and our sub goal right now is to seek out Dr. Hantayumi.
Yeah.
3, talk to your fellow players. 4, play against the course of history or be swept away. 4.5, remember to say no. 5, act quickly. 6, mind your surroundings. 7, conversation before violence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real important one.
Because we just jumped directly into killing that Cyclops.
Well, it jumped directly into killing us.
Yes, but we should talk to it first. It might be a person.
If only.
We should have. Yes, I'm saying that with hindsight.
Yeah. I was making a if only you could talk to these creatures joke.
Yeah.
If only.
But yes.
I feel like people. Maybe it tried to speak, but we just didn't hear it.
Yeah, but also, number 1, remember you are magic.
Yeah. We can communicate in a language that language that transcends.
Yeah, read
various
your sheet.
Yeah. Transmits on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no connection, bro. I glaze over that stat.
I think so. Each of us
It
has
shows.
one full stat, right?
Yeah.
And they're each 3 different ones. I have full separation.
I've got full connection.
You have full connection. Zalan has full instigation.
You're
That's cool.
Zalan does not want to connect. He wants to connect with these hands.
All right. Sheila?
Yep.
What did you want to ask Denai? We're opening in Sheila Arguros's brain space. This was prompted to me at the end of last session and also earlier today.
I wanted her to ask me a question.
Oh, okay.
And you said I told you that, and you said, "Oh yeah, I know exactly the question she would ask you."
Shit, now I'm trying to remember what I thought. I thought that 1 week ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can start with a question, but I will also need time to think.
Okay. So we're gonna cut in to like the middle of a conversation that's happening.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
And we're gonna jump in on you know, you and your brain buddy, you know, you got the formalities out of the way, but eventually, Janai cuts in with a question of, why were you sent here? We're in that like infinite. We're in like that infinite field that's in Sheila's brain space.
Is the wall still there?
The wall is gone now.
Okay.
When you open the door, the wall disappeared. So
okay.
you are now you share one open brain. Yeah,
I mean,
it is Sheila sitting there, as in human Sheila, and Janai, like in her like normal goat form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our goal. I mean, to put it simply, we're just trying to save anybody we can, really. I know that's kind of a simple way to put it. But even back where we were from, we just wanted to try to do the right thing and make sure that try to do something, try to stop something to make people's lives better. In whatever little way we could, I guess.
Yeah, but I
Player point.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jack.
Do you think you're going to tell her that we came from the end of the world?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
she does she have access to my memories? Like, is that?
I was
is an
going
answer
to
that-
I was going to
Yeah.
cut in with the answer that with the reveal that she says, "No, I remember what happened, but why why were you sent here? Because you didn't come here of your own volition."
No, we were. I mean, we were sent. I came to see personally. My philosophy on it was that if things, you know, turn bad and everything ends, maybe there's a way to adjust it. Hopefully. Or even if there isn't, I could at least try. Try to find a way, even if one didn't exist.
Do you trust the conductor? I mean, I haven't seen all of your life, but he
Not completely. I found it hard to trust anyone at any point in any of this, whether that's their intentions or their capability or the actions that they're going to take in what they think is a mutual goal to mine, to ours.
Do you trust Jack?
I trust him to stick true to his values. I don't know if I always agree with his values.
And do you trust that would have been wrong. That would have been extra wrong.
That would have been double.
I jumped from one name to the wrong name.
Yeah.
And do you trust Danny?
I trust that Danny's going to do what he wants. It's just a matter of trying to help him see the right way, I guess. As much as I can.
Janai has like a look of frustration about her.
Yeah.
She says, it feels wrong that Zalan got taken over by someone so irresponsible.
Was he? I mean, was he responsible? This is like a Roma question, I guess. Like, what was he like before?
He was like a he was like he was like taking up after Hoshama,
Oh.
and he was like gearing up to take over his role as leader for
Yeah.
or as guide, not really leader. It's more of a guidance role.
Yeah.
Shepherd, you might say.
Yeah, shepherd, you might say.
I think
You guys are shepherds. You guys are messengers. We all know this.
there's a lot of fear going on in his head. It has been for a long time. And I think that fear comes from an earned place. But it's hard to see it manifest how you've seen it. It's I don't want to think about it, but I need to.
She says, I think he still uses that name. He parades it around, but I know that Danny is the one who's really in control of them.
Seems like it.
All right, sounds like that's the end of the scene.
Sure.
Cut back out to.
Well,
Oh,
I think that you should ask you should ask Janai what she would do about Danny.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but then Roma said that means the scene's over.
I mean, do you want to?
Yeah, I want to ask that.
It seemed like you're petering out, so I was giving you an out. Sure, if you wanted to ask something.
I mean, yeah, I'd just straight up say to her, like, what do you think we should do?
I think we should put the real Zalan in charge.
Isn't that foreboding?
Like with Jack and Efron?
I don't know. I mean, you and I seem to be equal hands here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been the most reasonable of the three of us.
Well, I wouldn't say that's always the case.
Fair.
We're reasonable. We're logical. We're reasonable people here.
I'd say you're the least unreasonable, Sheila.
That's an important distinction, and I appreciate it.
I still can't get over that you guys just think like we do. I thought you'd be something else, like altogether, but it's surprisingly normal being able to see you and talk with you here.
Yeah. It's not the first time that there's lots of different types of life that I would have expected not to be the same as us. It's interesting.
I guess it's comforting to think that there's something out there with all the answers.
I think Sheila just like smiles and shrugs and like looks up at the sky and that's a good endpoint.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack tugs on your arm as you guys are marching through the storm in these wastelands. You came out and you've been marching now for a while.
When you say wastelands, do you like mean like straight up like desert?
Yes.
Okay.
It is like arid. It's not like a dried up seabed, and ask Tarbuk about why it's not.
Because those seas haven't. Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, it's a desert. It's pretty flat though. You know, you're not like climbing dunes like White Sands. It's more like the New Mexico desert, where like there are probably mountains in the distance, and you're in just like a dry valley.
Yeah, it's like craggy and rocky.
Yeah. Yeah. The sand is frigid cold, and it is like pelting against all of you. The wind cuts all the way through your coats, and chills you to the bone. You guys are leading, and you have the herd all basically chained together, hand in hand, as you are marching towards
The thread from the book, right?
the thread from the book. Yeah, you're headed towards wherever you hope to find Dr. Han Tayumi.
Yeah. Another important thing to remember is that book had, when like you turn a page, a thread from that page goes in the direction that person is. And there's like a big what cardinal direction did you say it was, Roma? Where there just like weren't any connections going in that direction?
West
by
southwest.
southwest.
West by
Yep.
southwest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You've been traveling southward for a little bit, so now it's just west general. Feel like that gap has gotten a little bigger though.
Right. Yeah.
You've been marching for like hours and hours.
Should I heal my hurt?
Nope.
No.
You have to do something to heal hurt. Do you remember what you have to do?
Eat.
Yeah.
I remember. We've healed everything before, just at like, oh yeah, it's been long enough.
Yeah, but we're eating food at that time, and we're currently in wastes. There's no fruit for us anywhere. That's part of the problem.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna try and like solicit Hoshama's attention for a second, and like gesture him up to walk beside it, to walk beside us.
Okay. What I'll say is to find Hoshama, like visibility is very poor right now. You guys are leading the front of the pack. One of you is pulling up the rear. I guess it's Zalan. You get rear guard duty, because you weren't talking to Sheila just now. Yeah, you have to like hand over hand to go down the line, Jack. Until you just like find Hoshama in the line.
Gotcha.
What did you want from him?
While listening to the description, I forgot my question. Give me a second. I'm gonna say to him, where we come from, or I know that those the black stones, the spikes, on the coastline mark a terrible deed. It makes me concerned for this space that we're walking into now. Is there anything that you would know that I would not?
He shouts out over the sound of the wind. He says, "This is an arid, cursed land that is blessed with no life anywhere within it. And he says to you, "It's no wonder that many terrible things have been allowed to happen out here, where no domain reaches." Also, okay. I think he would raise to you because it's getting worse and not better. He says, I know it's hard to navigate, but can you and your ilk take us to find some kind of shelter? I know we need to get there quickly, but there's no use hurrying if we're just going to be eaten on by the storm on the way.
We will try. And I try to hand over hand to try and find Sheila. Did I pass Sheila on the way here, or
Sheila's at the front. Sheila's at the front.
Sheila's at the front? Okay.
Only you guys can well, only whoever's holding the book can definitely see where you're going. But unlike the the horizontal star of Imelia's, which even all the Caprine can see that. The this one is just you guys, really. They can't. They don't know where they're going. They're just following you.
Okay.
You get back up to Sheila. Zalan, you can be up there too. It doesn't matter. You can.
Yeah.
You can leave your post for a moment.
Well, it's interesting for a second. Now with me getting Sheila alone, where
okay, sure.
There's enough distance, and I'm reasonably confident that Zalan can't hear us.
Oh no!
And I'm
you can barely see 5 feet in front of you.
Okay, so
and the wind is
between that and the
whipping so loud that you can't hear. You can barely hear Hoshama talking to him.
I got a phantom feeling that somebody wants me to be more responsible. So I'll stay back. I'll stay in my post.
All right. So, all right. I get up to the front, and I'm like, Sheila and I. Hoshama thinks that we should try and find shelter for the storm to pass. I am not sure. I think that the storm might be psychic in nature and coming for us by in the same way that the storm came for us with intelligence and tried to smite me when I left the cave.
Right. No, I've had that thought too. That's why I've been remiss to use Gilgamesh, and she pats her sword.
For the record, you have not pulled that out of its sheath, right?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I don't know if the book has any abilities that could afford us any measure of protection. I don't know. I hesitate to use the gauntlet.
Yeah, I would as well.
On the topic of the gauntlet, I'm considering giving it to Zalan.
Why?
Because it seems less dangerous than what he's already doing. He needs power, right?
Okay, you think that we can maybe wean him off in a way. I mean,
I want to be able to trust my friend.
Me too.
I was further gone than him, and I came back. But I'm not. I don't know that without something like this, he would want to come back.
I mean, you have to understand that if you give that to him, and if something disastrous happens because you gave him the gauntlet, that is yet another burden that you will have to bear. That is your responsibility.
I will think on it more.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. I just think that don't do it lightly. We need to be able to trust him. If we can't trust him, then he's not on our team. She shrugs.
It's difficult. I want him to rise to the occasion if we give him the opportunity to be good.
So do we.
Anyway, your sword was able to block the storm before. Do you think it would now?
Can I take a vibe check on the sword, Roma? Also, I'm not glowing from it anymore, am I?
You're not glowing from it anymore, no.
Yeah. No other visual effects?
No.
Okay.
I'd say you're still blonde. You're blonded.
Okay.
Like that doesn't fade away, but you have ceased being so incandescent.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see how this sword feels.
Yeah. You know, neither Sheila or Janai are really familiar with with weapons, I imagine. I don't think Sheila would adapt. I don't think Sheila has your sword obsession.
Yeah, definitely not.
So I think when she rests her hand on it now, it used to feel to her like an artifact of special importance. It used to feel like something important, and now it feels like a weapon to you.
Right. Do I sense any hunger in it when I look for that?
No.
Okay.
You don't sense much from it.
Okay.
Player talk. That might be the sheath. The sheath might be protecting you from the sword.
Okay. That's a fair point. The sheath was pretty cool.
Yeah, and remember the sword was like
yeah, I didn't want to go back
up until you completed the sheathing, and then it was just quiet.
Which is why I'm hesitant to take it out here and try to have it help us if it isn't going to do that.
Sheaths are protective objects.
Yeah.
Try using the sheath.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a good thought. I mean,
Oh, duh. There's a clear metaphor here in the stats.
okay.
The book is doing connection.
Yeah.
A sword is instigation. The
Yeah.
sheath is separating the sword from the world.
Sure.
Unless there's a third artifact out there and the sword and the sheath are not actually part of a set, are instead like together one item, then
There.
who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, is the sheath like particularly different, or does it have the same sort of resonance?
I think it's different. When I was talking about how the sword feels, I was also talking about how the sheath feels. They are
Okay.
they are one item together.
Yeah. So it is not different.
Yeah, you could not, like before, you could not give Jack the sword without giving him the sheath. If you remember a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
You could have Jack.
Oh, I thought that was
hold
the
it.
other way around.
I also thought that was the other way around.
I thought I pulled the sword, but not the sheath.
Yeah, but like ownership did not transfer until so ownership didn't transfer. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sheila could have just like reached out and recalled it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You were just borrowing it.
Well,
Are you
I mean,
so much of a sword boy that you enjoy the image of like holding on to the sheath with these fingers and have this finger up over the guard and brandish it in that way?
that's pretty cool. I am hesitant to use the sword at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might just try to do it myself. Of like manifesting that same sort of like barrier.
Like you've seen it and you're trying to replicate it.
Right. Just a stillness in the area around us, and it doesn't have to be perfectly still.
Mm-hmm.
Just more still than like getting sandblasted in your face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Freezing sand.
Yeah.
All right. I'd say this is step one is do it. So, so go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll separation. With disadvantage.
Oh, why? Because what I'm doing is hard.
You're having to push back against something, and you're on your own right now.
Yeah.
Do you give any indication that this is the thing that you're doing?
I think you're discussing it. I think this is a pretty open discussion between you two.
Hmm.
Unless Sheila really wants to keep this spell a secret.
No, I have no desire to keep the spell a secret.
Yeah.
I would even beseech help from you.
Okay. Yeah.
If you doff
I'm going
the
to take this
secret-
opportunity to like try and psychically convey the intention to do this thing back to Zalan at the back of the line.
Okay, so you want to yeah, there's a way that you can do that, Jack. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, Mister.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a couple of options that like leap to my mind, but one of them is that I'm just gonna like focus on Zalan and with this intention in mind, and like I'm going for language, but like stressing the intention of we're gonna try and get this storm off of us.
Mm-hmm. Just a reminder, using your your big boy moves, you don't have to roll. You just do them.
Yeah, you just transmit. You can just transmit a thought to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I have the max connection. I'm just gonna go for the transmit.
Yeah, if you have max in a stat, you can use the move, and you don't have to roll unless you're trying to do something really crazy with it.
Like teleporting an eye into a god.
Yeah, yeah. Just consider that you basically start with double advantage anytime you want to do one of those. So you have to be doing something very hard to have to roll. Anyways, yeah. You you communicate your intentions to Zalan. Zalan will act as they wish, I suppose. Who knows what that entails?
Who knows, indeed.
You are sure sure that your intentions were communicated.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. For what did you convey in specific?
The
Okay.
entirety of that conversation
We are going to
and the intention was communicated.
All right, cool. So you basically get like a sudden update of here's the last couple minutes of us talking about the storm.
Yeah. Kind of like how you get a flash forward, or you feel like you have deja vu about something, and you remember all of the event at once.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your actual plan, Jack and Chief?
I mean, I explained to you the the effect I'm attempting to cultivate.
Yeah. We have seen the shield effect, and we are going to try and replicate that by like at least the way that I'm doing it is trying to like pathways that go in. I'm gonna try and like like a redirectedness outwards, like current, I guess. A sort of pushing away of around us in like a tube that we're passing through. It is still on the inside. You were emphasizing the stillness before when you described it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning on the like parting of the sand part.
Okay. What I will try to do then is I will try to move the members of the back of the hood more like upward and forward, so that there's like a narrower. There's like a narrower area for
Yeah.
We don't have to push as hard.
2 to a row, guys. 2 to a row. All right. Sheila, go ahead and bump yourself up to advantage.
Oh wow, great!
You got 2 helpers.
That's true. Still not good.
Still not great.
It's 9.
Yeah. I think you like reach your hand out, trying to mimic trying to mimic a stagehand performing magic.
Wait, hold on. Wasn't it separation? Isn't your separation +9?
It's harmed twice right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like reach your hand out like a stage performer and try to stop the storm dead around you. You get like kind of a flicker of like a barrier, maybe like 2 feet in diameter in front of you, but you find it hard to keep up your concentration in the storm.
Right.
And your spell fizzles, leaving you frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you just like I'm saying this to Jack. What if you just like jumped up really high and tried to find like a rock or something, like an outcropping?
There's an awful lot of wind. I think I might land on somebody.
Or away from us. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I hate sand.
It's coarse and it's rough and it gets
No,
everywhere.
no, no.
Yeah, she was a real Anakin Skywalker sometimes.
Yeah,
More
for sure.
Sekuhara from Jack. Dynamic
Okay.
husband.
Yeah, I think Sheila
All right.
learned to hate sand after going to White Sands and just getting in everything.
Mm. All right. Okay, so I like lean down. I like kneel down, and I like put my hand on the ground, and I'm gonna try and like feel through the ground as though the ground itself is the surface of my skin for like any features that's not just sand, a cave, like whatever.
Okay. I think. Yeah. Okay. So here's what you find.
Mhm.
Maybe like a mile or 2 miles off. You search
Mhm.
out quite far. Probably about a mile to your east, or not your east, or west is the sea that you sailed across to get here.
Mhm.
Uh, over there you can feel that there's like a there's like a large there's a huge like cliff's edge as the border between land and sea there. Um, Probably like 100 feet high almost.
Mm.
And farther out into the wastes, probably about like two miles out from you, is
Mhm.
a the only feature you can find is a like stone archway of like it looks like a rock that's been, it's not carved, it doesn't feel carved, it's like, blown and blasted by the sand, but it's like a single rock that forms an archway. um that might work to form some sort of shelter. Other than that, there's like not even trees out here.
Gotcha. Good enough. We'll take it. All right. Beeline for that archway.
Is that the same direction as our thread we're following?
Is that west?
A little like southeast. It's farther inland.
Mhm.
As you're following the
But
thread,
did you answer? What about my question?
I was just answering it.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, as you've been following that thread, the storm has been making it difficult for you. It's like it's pulling the thread like along its breeze.
Okay.
So you're pretty sure you've been like swerving your way through the desert. So it's vaguely in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Uh you start following Jack as he makes headway. Yeah, as you are you eventually come upon after, yeah, okay, trying to think of like good ways to describe things. That's all my brain is.
Mm-hmm.
you trudge your way through the desert, uh, getting blasted and knocked around by the storm. This storm is like bad enough to where like some of the small ones are like threatened. Like if they weren't being held onto actively, they'd be threatened to be like pushed away and like literally just scooped up by storm.
Yeah.
But you guys bunch up tight, limited surface area, and you trudge onward to this archway. When you make it there, you note that when you're like, I don't know, maybe like 80, maybe like you're just nearby it, you're just coming up to it, Jack. You guys walk right past like a withered husk of a tree that that's hanging out there. And no one else pays this any mind. But Jack, you remember specifically that you did not feel it there. The sands continue to shift around you.
Okay.
What do you want to do, Jack? Do you keep leading, or you decide to stop?
All right. I tell everybody or like I try to call back as much as possible for everybody to gather up close. And I'm like, Sheila, have the sword ready, and that tree isn't supposed to be there.
Okay.
Yeah. If everybody's like gathering around, I'm gonna try and you know what? Screw talking. I'm transmitting this to Zalan also. So Zalan actually knows what's going on with this tree and how fucked up it is that it's here better than Sheila does, because I don't think I communicated it adequately.
All right. You keep moving?
I'm going towards this tree.
Okay.
Man, having full connection, you can just like new type flash to people like nobody's business.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
New type flash.
Yeah, guys. Principle number 1.
Talk to your fellow players.
Remember your magic.
Oh,
Principle number 1 is remember your magic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you just have a button that just says, "Oh, I send that."
All right. So I get like halfway to where that tree is, and then I like take a beat, and I'm like, just in case, I'm gonna transmit the knowledge of where that archway is to the entire group, all the Caprines, like party, like the other 2 messengers, everybody.
Done.
All right.
You send it out, and I think they start, like, the crowd starts like pulling away towards it on their own. And they leave you, and I guess Sheila. I don't know if Sheila's gonna what Sheila wants to do. I don't know what Zalan wants to do, but they leave you, Jack, with the tree.
I'll hang out by this tree.
Okay. I go up to the tree and I like I've got the book in one hand. I like cautiously touch the tree.
Holding the book in your hand, huh? Okay.
Yep.
I think when you do this, the
I immediately thought of a better solution to this, but we're already here.
Yeah. You touch. So the Caprine wander off. What are you 2 doing, guys? What are the other 2 doing? Are they staying with Jack? going on?
Standing a little bit behind him with my hand on, ready to draw the sword out of my pocket if I need to do that.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Salon?
I would like for somebody to be with the Caprine, and I guess that has to be me.
It doesn't have to be, but up to you.
You're being the responsible one.
Hmm.
Would anybody else like to do that?
I'm touching a tree.
Yeah, you're touching the tree.
Yeah, Jack's dedicated to this tree touching.
Hmm.
Sounds like you're going on your own, Zalon.
Fair enough.
Jack, touch. You touch this tree, and the book has like a latch on it.
Mhm.
The latch unfurls itself, and like the book starts like
Flipping pages.
it's like rattling in the wind, like it wants to open. You
Okay.
you if you let it open up, it starts
Yeah.
flipping through pages.
Yes.
It I think it stops on. Yeah, I think it stops on the first page.
Hmm. Okay.
What does it say?
It says, oh, what the think? I think it says, yeah, it opens the first page. It has like a text scrawled in it that like you can't read. Neither you
Mhm.
nor Efron can read it.
Mhm.
And and it like translates itself and translates itself and translates itself like several times
Mhm.
before it gets to um that's I'm thinking hard because I don't have a list of prepped names for touching
Touching
trees,
random trees. Yeah, that's fair.
and this tree has some significance. Um I think it just open I think what the word it settles on is um I think it settles on shelter from time and storm.
Mm.
That's what I think it settles on. And the name is like faded. Uh, but there is a like very very like small thread going from like the binding of the book to the tree, and like only when you hold it like really close. The tree
Okay.
feels cold, like cold and withered, and it's only like it's like a it's a small tree. It's like maybe like a foot in diameter as it's like been withered and shrunk up. Uh, yeah. Zalan.
Yo,
Um,
what's up?
uh, the uh, you're following the Caprine to the archway, um, and you can barely see like just a few feet ahead of you. Storms just gotten continually worse and worse. Um, and as you see the shadow of the archway like in um come out through the sand, there you realize that like it's a it's a really small shelter. It's like barely enough for 1 or 2 people. But when you approach it, there's and I'm gonna say that the Caprine right in front of you is Batsua, because it just makes
Mm-hmm.
you gotta watch over your baby. And when you get there, all the Caprine are the Caprine aren't there. They're like suddenly gone, and you're standing there like right in front of it, the archway, and you like pull Batsua back from it, like, what? As you like stand out in the cold.
Like they just like, is it vanishing like instant?
Yes, like
Is
Batsua was holding on to Sarael,
mm,
uh, who was right in front of her, and you were like watching her when you saw the archway come up, and then like she
mm,
crossed a threshold, and then like Batsua like lost grip of her, and she like disappeared right before your eyes,
mm.
and then you like pulled your daughter back.
I throw some sand across where I think the threshold might be.
Yeah. You like scoop up some sand and like shield Batsua from the storm, and you like throw it through the archway, and it gets picked up by the wind, and it just flows right on through. What's going on with Jack and Sheila?
All right, so I transmit my experience of this thing to Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can also just talk.
So far. Yeah, I know, but like,
New type flashing is more fun.
I want
Actually,
one, new
and
type
quicker.
flashing is more fun, but
and more efficient.
2, I want you to see the things that I'm seeing in the way that I'm seeing it for like maximum deliberation.
Okay.
It must be this tree's name. Maybe what it was
Yeah.
intended to be for.
The thread is still there. It's a tree. If you water a tree, they like spring back to life. Do we think? I mean, being written in the book has got to be significant, right?
Do you have any water left in that gut of yours?
All burnt away.
Yeah.
We would have to get some, and I like turn my head upwards.
Yeah.
That could go really bad or really well.
Zalan, what you doing?
back to me.
Yeah, back to you. What you doing?
Yeah.
Standing at the archway with daughter in hand. She starts to like panic under your arm. She's like, "What? What happened? Where'd mom go?"
You know what? I pick up and I just walk. I walk forward.
Okay.
Okay. You and Batsua both disappear into the archway. Jack and Sheila, my hands are off.
All right. I am trying to. I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Book in hand, I like put my hand out into the wind, and I'm like, this thing is intelligent. Let's see if the book can name who is pushing this on us.
Okay. Gotcha. Who's pushing the storm?
Yes. Origin of the storm. There's like force being applied to us. It's not just like I don't think it's like a purely natural thing.
Yeah, I like this.
In the same way that the storm was like that.
I think this is gonna be hey, you wanna know, you want a real callback? Look at your first sheet. I think this is I think is trace a move?
Yeah.
Yes.
Consult accumulated knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a trace.
Yeah.
I knew that would come in handy.
Okay.
I'm literally amazed that I remembered that.
Roll.
Jack's definitely playing this episode upside down and forwards, which I'm having to work my way backwards through my brain in order to
Upside down.
keep up.
Forward. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think about any other.
What plus is that on trace? That's connection, right?
Yeah, it's connection.
Okay, yeah, that's correct.
All right. I think. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, there's. This is
16.
16.
Okay.
All right, it's all right. Yeah, there's not much more of a literal interpretation of consult accumulated knowledge than consult a book.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Find truth in a book. Here's what I think. The book, it flips to, it flips all the way, like really quickly forward, all the way up to, to your page, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And then it flips, and like your name like flashes gold. And then it starts flipping backwards, and it flips to a very early page in the book, and it's a like it's text that you don't recognize, and it like warps and warps and warps and warps until it warps past one that you know. It warps past Enlil Uruk. It warps. It gets to that, and then it warps again, and it warps into the Lightning Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it flashes that in. It flashes that in pink, in like the same dull pink that the moon is.
Okay.
The text in this book itself is red, by the way.
Interesting. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's like red ink, like.
All right.
Almost like clay.
I got a moonshot question for you.
Yeah.
I flipped to the last page and read it.
Okay.
This is just a curiosity thing of like, okay, I'll deal with that in a second.
Yeah. I think because like, okay, here's what happens, right? You flip to your page.
Yeah.
And you flipped, which is like back towards the front of the book, or towards like the very end of the book, and you flip through it, and you keep flipping pages, and you keep going past like totally random names. I'm not gonna burn 30 names right now, but just know you flip past a ton of names, and like you only have like a thin slip of the book left, and it feels like, or and at some point you realize like it keeps uh yeah, it keeps like getting to a new page that isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the book isn't getting thicker in your hands as it goes.
Gotcha. Oh, I should have specified. I close the book and open it to the last page.
Yeah. I-
That was my intention.
Yeah, I think when you do that, the last page is
Mhm.
blank.
Okay.
And I think when you like flip backwards from there, they're
Mhm.
all blank.
Okay.
Like even if you like take it and like riffle it through your thumb to go backwards,
Mhm.
it like never gets to 1.
Gotcha. All right.
The last name, here's what I'll tell you from that. The last name has yet to be written.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Omega -1, am I right?
Sure.
Yeah. How do I N plus 1 through this book?
Is this book like that? Is like that infinite hotel? Where you can
That
always
was basically the joke that I just made.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the joke that both of us just made at each other.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
good to know. I half understood it and I was able to puzzle it
Yeah.
out. Both of you had to
Lowercase-
say it, and I took
Mhm.
both those halves and taped them together.
Lowercase omega is the last integer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks transitivity,
Okay.
or one of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyways, that's what the answers you get from the book.
Okay. Well, Jack will figure that out in a minute. Back to this lightning lord thing. It's like, okay, that answered the question though, which is all of this stuff is happening by the intention of some other entity out there, which means if we just stop being looked at, then if we stop being looked at, this will stop being a problem. B, the gauntlet could be causing the problem by being a lightning rod
Right.
for this
Good
trouble.
thought. Yeah.
But we don't want to just like leave it somewhere. All right.
Perhaps you could separate it in some way from its environment.
Yeah. Okay.
You're still standing in the storm, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will also say, let's see if we can't catch up with the rest of them. Make sure they're doing okay.
Yeah,
And
Sheila,
maybe
I
we
think what
can figure
happens is, Sheila,
Yeah.
you like
Mhm.
turn your attention in that direction, and you have like decent connection, right? You have like a 6, I think.
Yeah, I have 2 points in connection.
Yeah, I think you like say like, oh, you like say to Jack like, I think we should get out of the storm before we like spend too much time out here, and you like turn your attention to the archway, and you're like, wait, and like you like feel like there's no one there. In the same way that like you like feel somebody watching you, you feel like the absence of that.
Yeah. I'll say. Oh no, and she'll just like start walking and say, hustling and say, "We need to go. I can't find them out there."
Okay. And I like. Okay. Snap the book closed. And just like we hustle into that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come up to the archway, and Jack, you realize this too, that you two are alone in this desert right now.
Is this some sort of? I mean, Sheila would attempt to suss out if this is some sort of magical precipice.
How do you intend to suss that out, Sheila?
I think it's like pushing her attention forward and like feeling what's ahead of her, and like eyes closed in the dark, reaching out for a wall, or like an edge of something,
Hmm.
or like a curtain. Like seeing if, when she tries.
I think a curtain is the way to put it.
Yeah.
That's the way I'd put it. Because you reach
But like
out.
she doesn't know she's looking for a curtain. That's like what she feels that she thinks she might feel.
Yeah. I think you just barely like brush against something.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's a like invisible curtain there, hanging in
Yeah.
the archway.
I think she just turns to Jack and says, "Follow me."
In the beat that you have taken to do that, I have just walked right in.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Sheila follows suit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take our first break right now, if
Okay.
you don't mind. We're an hour and a half in,
Alrighty.
and we're back. All right, nerds, you've just walked into my danger zone, Wolves.
Yeah.
You've definitely fallen for my genius trap card, aka going directly where you were supposed to go,
Cool.
but also doing your own thing along the way.
You've really manipulated us with this narrative.
Yeah, how dare I? How dare I communicate at all? Yeah, so Sheila, you go through last.
Yeah.
You come through and there is actually I think for additional information, Zalan, you come through the portal and you like emerge out, and there's like you're like standing in an oasis. The storm is gone, it's not here. And around you is like a dense like jungle like forest. And when you turn around to look back through the archway, there you can see through it back on the other side, like where you would have come from. In the place of where that tree was, like 80 feet off, there's like a great wide at the base, like fat looking bonsai tree that's like that's like way past fully grown, like it's huge. In the desert it was like just 1 foot around or whatever. It was like all withered and dead. Here it's like so big around, it looks like it's been or like it's huge all the way around. It's like probably like 15-20 feet at its base, and it like is a bulb on the bottom that like goes up and then splits off into like a big canopy of like pink flowers, like pink and yellow flowers. And the rest of the herd has like walked around the archway, and they're like moving towards the tree. There's like a pond here that has let's see. There's like a pond here with like lily pads and reeds, and like there's like fish swimming in it, and you can hear birds in the forest. And just as you are like turning around to see all this, and you like walk around the arch, Sheila and Jack like almost immediately follow in behind you. And they're taking in this place. It's very it's like super majestic and beautiful. It's currently nighttime, but there is like fireflies around that are like lighting the place.
Nice.
And there are many stars in the sky, giving him like a soft, glowy light. From and like it looks like through cracks in the tree that the tree is like the tree has like light inside of it. That is like spilling out. You can see through like the like coming out through from the base and like casting shadows onto the branches as they're like swaying in a gentle wind. The Caprine like go down to the pond and they like are taking water and drinking from it.
Yeah.
Oh. You guys are all there. You want to catch Alon up on what just happened?
Sure.
Transmit.
Yeah.
No, we come back from a break. You have to explain it.
Okay. Okay.
This is the post commercial recap.
Right, because
all right.
Right, there's tons of people, just tuning in.
Yeah, they're just tuning in. You know, we just came back from our ad, with I don't know, Squarespace. Sure, we got thousands of dollars for it. Maybe some mattress company. Nice? Who knows?
I don't listen to any podcasts with ads anymore. I don't know what it would be. Anyway.
I'm deliberately trying to name things that are closed.
All right, I point at the tree and I'm like, that tree's a lot smaller on the outside. I think it's the first tree. Hang on. And I flip through the book. And as I'm flipping through the book, I'm like, by the way, the storm seems to have been caused by Uruk, who is maybe some aspect of him seems to still be alive.
Well, yeah.
Here's what I think. Jack, you pull the book out, and it's latched. But when you pull it out, you realize the book's a lot thinner than it normally is.
Oh, that's I know why that happened.
It's because we changed realms, probably.
Yeah, we went even farther back. I think that's what I think has happened here.
I think that this is the Garden of Eden, and we're just in a different space.
Inagata Vida.
And that the book points to who is in the space. So hypothetically, if we were in the future that we came from, and we walked through a spire with the book would give us a listing of everyone who was in that space instead.
Yeah. Okay. It's a reasonable assertion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You open the book and that first page that was the book that was the it was the like a thread to the tree. It opens up and the text in it is different. It's text that you like can't read, and then it just warps a singular time, and it warps into a language that you can read. I guess it just warps into whatever you're feeling you're more comfortable with, English or Caprine. Depending on how much Efron and how much Jack you want to be in there. That's a good question for you. Which language does it flip into?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it just a character building moment? I don't have two more additional names. I have one.
I think because the perspective that we're looking at things from is more Efron-y, it's going to be a Caprine.
Okay. You're still getting one in English. Sorry.
Okay.
Because working around languages is weird. Everybody, just so you know, bilingual media whack difficult.
Shout out to bilingual media.
Shout out to
I
all
bet.
bilingual media.
So to all bi people.
Yeah.
Shout out to all cunning linguists.
So the book, anyways, the book, it's pointing at the tree, and it says, it says the Machines Workshop.
The Machines Workshop.
That's like major red flags.
And it has pink petals.
Pink and yellow.
Hmm.
And it's like
Pink and
nighttime out
yellow,
there.
pink and yellow, pink and yellow.
Can we be reminded what color the lights on the cogs were?
Purple.
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 Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Okay.
They also do other colors, but mostly purple.
Yeah.
Purple is the default.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hey, who's thirsty?
I'll go down there and take a drink.
It is.
I hate sand. I gotta rinse it out of my mouth.
You actually don't. When you cross threshold, the sand is like left behind.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Interesting.
I'll still drink some anyway.
Yeah. No, you drink the
Yeah.
water is cool and rejuvenating.
Yeah.
Heal 1 point.
Yay!
Does the water have calories? Does it satiate my hunger?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Hey, am I hungry?
A little bit.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
And
Am
by
I
cool,
the
I
same
mean-
amount of hungry?
Are you the same amount of hungry as Sheila?
As me.
Sheila.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I no longer have a magic super weapon. Very reasonable. Very very deft of you, Roma, to give me a badass super weapon for like a session and a half and then nerf it.
You got some mileage out of it.
I feel like I got plenty of mileage out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It got us through a fucking crazy, ridiculous sea storm. So yeah.
Yeah, everyone, all the Caprine, they start to lounge and relax, with their moment of safety.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys up to? You chilling?
I'd like to check out this tree.
All right. You move to investigate further. This pond is in like kind of a bean shape. I'd say like a bean shaped pond, like curling around, almost around the tree. There's a little bit of space to walk though. You just walk through the water, or do you walk around it? I'm wondering what type of person Sheila Arguros is.
I'll walk around. I don't need to walk through.
Okay.
I follow her and walk around as well.
Also, it's Sheila Janai.
Sheila Janai
because we're fully integrated.
Okay, so Sheila Janai. Got Jack Efron.
And just a line.
Yeah.
And yet
Zalan in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
No, just a line.
No quotes. No quotes.
Yeah, I'm going around with you guys, not going through the water because that's not the vibe. And I'm gonna say, so is that the the biblical tree having a Jack moment? Is that like the tree?
Yeah, you guys are like standing at the base of it as it has like really like there's like reeds growing around the base, and it's like knotted roots like growing over each other like vines. And you realize standing there that it, like almost like leaned up against the tree is like amongst all the branches and reeds is the uh like head and torso of a cog sitting there.
What?
Whoa!
It seems to be
Oh my
turned
God.
off at the moment. It has
Oh
its
my God.
like head, chest, and like left arm, and now that you're like looking closer at it, it has its like right arm and like both of its legs have been replaced with like crude wooden approximations of them.
Right arm and left leg, you say?
Right arm and both legs. Or no, sorry, it's
Right
left
arm and
arm,
both.
left arm and both legs.
Right.
Left arm and both legs.
Yeah,
That-
its
okay.
right
So
arm
it's
is
Bunny
still no.
Rabbit. It's not Edward Elric.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It appears to be turned off at the moment. And it is sitting in like a with like its legs crossed, like propped against this tree.
Forward unto dawn. Okay, so holding book open, touch cog.
This is fucked, Sheila says.
What does Janai say though? That's the real question.
I mean, how much office ship do I have over Janai?
You do. You can do it. You can do that. You can slip into Janai if you want to. Feel free.
Yeah.
But if you want to converse with them, hell, if you want to, well, I was gonna say if you wanted to converse with Sheila, I could play Sheila, but that'd be weird.
I don't.
I don't think that works.
That would be weird.
But I can voice Janai if you want to like.
You can play Sheila if I die. If Simon
That's
dies, you can play Sheila.
Gotcha, and I'll raid your notes. Yeah. You touch the cog, and you don't have to touch it, by the way, but you touch it holding the book. That is now more like a novella instead of an encyclopedia size.
Like a kid's book.
It's not that thin.
Well, I was imagining it like the same like big
like,
tome diameter, but like way thinner. So it's one of those like big like hardcover kids books.
Yeah, I guess that's about right. It still has like latches and like the outside is the same. Yeah, it's about that thick. Anyways, it flips to a page. You can't read it, but it looks familiar to you, and then it changes to Dr. Han Tayumi.
We found the man we're looking for.
So wait in the future then? We're like probably way further in the future than when we died.
That's interesting. Maybe it's strange.
No, I think he is survivor of another world. I think he's because remember that Emilius, before becoming Emily, did tell us that there is another person like us who came back the way that we did.
And
I think this is them.
This one came back so far and was able to maintain some. I mean,
Are there any like visible differences between this cog and the cogs that we know?
It is fuck old. It has been sitting here. It is apparent that it has been sitting here a long time. It has like roots, like it has limbs made of wood, but it also has roots like growing around it.
Hmm.
The like the metal in it hasn't changed. Um, you wonder where its limbs went though.
Yeah, good question.
I wonder if Hantayumi is Samson.
I mean,
I
I was getting kind of a different read with specifically what body parts it had left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could be Elvis.
I mean, Roma, correct me if I'm wrong. This thing, if you were to take this thing's cog, like black metal parts,
Mm-hmm.
where it's the head, the torso, and the left arm,
Right arm.
right arm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the same parts that the thing in the jar had, Dr. Light?
That had a brain.
It was like a head, it was a brain and like a spine.
Yeah, a spine
and a robotic arm.
and a robotic left arm.
A robotic left arm. Okay, well.
It looked like it was that looked like it was like being pieced together and like not all of it had been built yet. Like the arm looked like it was just barely there.
Okay.
For the brain in the jar.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Huh.
So I think we use the gauntlet. I don't think we use the gauntlet. I think the gauntlet powers him, maybe.
Well,
but I don't know if we should power him on.
Well, we've seen the cogs' behavior change when they're met with,
various forces.
The void magic.
Mm-hmm.
What if?
And hopefully the magic that this guy is on is coming from the Flutter Tree.
The what?
It's pink and yellow. It's the Flutter Tree. It's Fluttershy the tree.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, this is something that Jack would obviously say.
The moon was also pink, and I feel like pink is bad. Oh wait, what? Do we know what yellow is?
Connection stuff.
Yellow is connection. It's humanity.
Okay, maybe the pink and yellow petals represent the duality of a cog.
The duality of Anne (parentheses droid).
Mm-hmm. Droid.
I'm gonna transmit hello to it. See what happens.
All right. We're poking the bear.
It's like a probing hello.
Yeah. I think when you do, you like send a bit of energy its way. It, you like detect. You like send that, and you like almost feel like a change in the air, as you like you hear and you can like see like the machinery inside of its chest like start to spin up. It's not like a loud thing. It's pretty subtle. It's like watching a computer fan turn on, where just like something small in there starts spinning, and then like some other stuff starts moving, and then like it starts like, and then its chest starts to glow. Its chest glows glows gold, by the way.
Nice.
And then like that, it like fills its chest up from like the ribs to the throat, and then like its eyes like blink like a Wi-Fi router. Until they like come solidly on, and then the cog like tilts its head and looks up at you guys, and it says, "Hello, my name is Dr. Han Tayumi."
Hi there.
How did you
I'm-
get here?
Jack.
Wait. No. I think we should ask the most pressing question here. What makes you a doctor?
You gotta check his credentials.
Yeah.
That
So,
is, I did actually have that thought about like, yeah, why is
I
his
like this
name-
layering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're all just like so excited to talk. We're just like talking over each other.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. I think I want to answer. I think I would answer. Trying to remember what is that place called. Hold on, wait. I wasn't expecting an immediate. Where'd you get your degree? Because I know.
I mean, I said what makes you a doctor, not where did you get your degree?
Oh.
Where did you matriculate?
It's not polite to ask a cog about their matriculation, Tarva. But, you know, it's a personal process.
Mhm.
My old
Gotcha.
page didn't count until 1985.
Gotcha. Okay. He says to use Alon. I received my doctorate from the University of Osaka and Columbia University. I have a doctorate in biomechanics.
So you really are from our time.
Say to that. What does he say to that?
I mean, I'll.
I think he'd hit you with an approximately. I think he'd hit you with that. I don't know how
did you
audible
get
I am,
here?
by the way.
You're audible.
You could be a little louder.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
I feel like you could be a little louder.
Okay.
You could be louder, but also the fact that it's quiet is cool.
Perfect.
That's true.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon the first movie.
I think he says it's been a long time since I have had visitors. He says like his head like swivels like a security camera as he's like looking at all the Caprine in the distance.
Eyes over here, bud.
I think like the blink in his eyes are just like two bulbs, right, that are like sunken into his head, basically, with like a little like a frosted glass to cover them. I think that like the lights on the inside, like they like squint and like turn outward. Like they both rotate away from the center of his face. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In like a what kind of emotion would you tilt them farther down, your fingertips farther down? little bit farther down. There you go. About there. That's the angle. I'd say like, the inside of the light is higher than the outside. So it's like a joy. It's like a joy expression, at least as much as he can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we in Eden or the future?
Unknown.
How did you get here from the 20th century?
Come into my workshop. And he stands up and like is like breaking branches off as he does so.
Right.
How
does that wood? How do those wood parts move?
They're like grown into and like grafted amongst the metal joints in him.
But are they like joints, or do they move like how a plant moves?
No, they're like joints.
Okay, they're jointed, but they're still like they're grafted on with like roots and like plant fiber.
Yeah, if that doesn't make sense, just like you've seen Pinocchio, you get it.
I mean, how does the metal animate with magic? The wood animates with magic too.
Yeah, I mean the metal animates with like techno jargon magic. So like this is just wood that.
Yeah. Which is why he's yellow.
And he like leads you around the side of this tree, and there's like a hollow that he like clambers through, and like inside there is like a like soft warm glow in there. And when you step inside, you're standing inside like a dimly lit like workshop. Most of like everything in here is almost everything in here is made out of wood. There are like some tools on a wooden rack, and there's metal for like tool heads in places. And he goes, and it's like it's lit in here by like firefly light and just like a kind of soft glow from the leaves up above. He goes over to a like a pit of like stones he has, and like sets a fire. He like takes like with his left hand he like pushes he like takes his left, or not his left hand, his right metal hand, and he just like rests it in his in his rib cage, and then when he takes it out, his like fingertips are like red hot, and then he just like pinches some some tinder, and then it just like goes up.
Cool.
There's a next to that there is a rough anvil that is like a like heavy log with like metal just like flattened across the top of it and like wrapped over the edge.
What does this all look like? Stuff that he's had to build himself?
Yes.
Here? Okay.
You get that impression.
Yeah.
Sneeze. Let's see. Some words he would have for you. He said he says to you, I don't run out of fuel here, but the boredom gets to me sometimes. So I like to shut down beneath the tree in between while I was waiting.
Did you know we were coming?
Someone came ahead of you and gave warning of your. He wouldn't say warning. He would say, "A man came ahead of you, and he told me you would be coming."
Who?
He did not give his name, and I did not think to ask. He was wearing a red cloak.
Hmm.
We know him.
The conductor.
He said you would have things for me to work on. And he like turns and looks at you, and he's like eyeing your I guess your that hand is on your back, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he doesn't see that,
Tied
but
just like a rope.
But he's like eyeing your your sword. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we weren't a surprise to you, but I'll be frank and tell you that we will need to speak further in order to, if we're going to have any amount of trust in your motives. Where we come from,
I slink the arm off of my shoulder and I just set it down in front of my knees.
Yeah. Where we come from,
Continue.
people who take your form, they were part of a.
I know.
He says he knows.
Yes.
Okay. I assumed you would, considering. I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Does the name Alvis Light ring a bell? And
I think his eyes like flash alternating, like he's like searching, searching deep for stuff. And he says, Dr. Light was a great inspiration to all of us. It is a shame what become of him, what they did to him.
tell us more about that.
Which was what exactly? Nobody ever gave us a straight answer. Well, they did, but you know what I mean.
Let's yeah. Sorry, I'm just skimming my notes. I have vocab to introduce.
Yeah. Previously, we got a 90% blacked out document from Samson's case. They give us minimal information.
So you asked exactly what they did to him. He says, Elvis was against Project Piero and tried to escape the testing facility. He was deemed too important of an asset to release or to destroy. So he was forced to work, and he was split into.
I think that's like a very like confident, sharp nod from Sheila. And also, what was the name of the project again? Can we just get that for us?
That was a Project Piero.
Piero. Like French wise, spelled French wise.
I think.
Yeah, like the French word for clown.
Is that true? Not Piero. Sorry. Look, I'll just give you the spelling. It's Pyrrho.
Oh, that's not French.
Yeah.
Oh.
Piero. Anytime I see
Bro.
PYRR8,
Yeah. Anytime you see PYRH.
I think bad thoughts.
Why?
I get negative memories.
A Pyrrhic victory named after Pyrrho the general is a success at such a massive cost that it counts as a loss.
Mm.
That just deepened my understanding of Ruby.
Wow, that's a really funny thing to be told. That's a really funny thing to say in response to that.
I get it.
Yeah, her name.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
Zalan,
you
I
guess
know.
it. Yeah. You know.
I wrote it.
Pyr. Etymology of which, from Pyros, red, tawny, from Pyr, fire.
Anyways, yeah, he
think-
drops that bomb on you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Split into two. What do you...
Maybe the way we made this thing, and I like gesture at the gauntlet.
Right. And I had my suspicions. Oh, I think my camera died. Oh well. By me, and I mean my phone.
I think he would say as an addendum to split into. He would say
his body was discarded, and all that was left was his mind, his brilliant mind, put to work against its will, without a will of its own. For his will was discarded as well.
I see.
What was discarded as well?
his will.
That means that the body and the will that we were interacting with was that's Alvis as we knew him.
Yeah. Similar to his mother. Bifurcated in that way. But for her, it was her body. That was the thing that was left alone. And her mind and will were the thing that were locked away. Well, good to know that some of our suspicions are true, but it's bad that they are true.
Yeah. Is that the last thing that you knew about him?
Is that the last thing that you knew about him? That's definitely one of the last things. What? I think he would say,
I volunteered.
Oh, hold on,
Oh?
Roma. You're too quiet.
Was I?
Yeah.
You're quiet and choppy.
Quiet and choppy.
Like connection-wise.
Quiet and choppy.
Okay.
Are we good now?
That was louder and a little clearer.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Yes.
You might want to. You might want to do the funny Bane voice closer to the mic.
Funny Bane voice. This is my funny Bane voice.
All right. Perfectly clear.
All right. I'm gonna roll with that, dude.
Let's see. What was I saying? Oh yeah.
Once Project Pyrrho was completed, I volunteered myself for this form. My body did not have long for this world, and I wished to see it through to the end.
Was the project to create the cogs, or was it something broader?
Project Bureau was the repurposing and development of the COG system for mass distribution. It began as part of a secret military project in order to win the war in Europe.
What else would he say about it? Let's see.
It was part of a branch of 3 secret projects: Project Bureau, Project Manhattan, and Project 386.
I mean, we'd probably know one of those off the dome.
No, you do know one of those.
Yeah.
One of those is public info.
Yeah.
And someone make a roll to see if they remember anything about that other one.
Oh, I would love to do that. This is a classic Sheila roll of remember a thing you read in a newspaper once.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. I won't give you disadvantage. I'm just gonna make it a normal straight up roll.
Okay. This is +6 because it's a connection roll.
Yep. Connect the dots.
12.
You're on your own.
Okay.
You're on your own for remembering this detail.
Wait, is 386? I feel like we encountered that when we were in the desert.
Yes, we did. That was what was on the bomb.
Check. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Let me look back at the notes. I would have written it down in the notes.
I also wrote it down.
Yeah, remember taking notes, guys?
The Last Light, 386.
Oh my god.
Okay, so before, because Jack doesn't recognize that, I'm gonna say, wait, is COG an acronym?
Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say to you. I'm gonna say out of story. Yes, COG is an acronym. And 2, no, I didn't write what it is. Come up with it yourself, because I think that's fun.
Okay.
Because anything I would give it is like, yeah, sure, but also you could just come up with it your own and like whatever you think is coolest. Because the fact that they're called COGs is the point, not whatever their stupid acronym says.
So. Oh.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
For COG, I think it's one of those old-timey, stupid military acronyms like Humvee or Jeep. I think it stands for cybernetic organism, and that's it.
Yeah, COG.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not 3 letters, it's just like a weird splicing of letters and words.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fun theory. There's no canon interpretation.
Okay.
That means we get to make the canon interpretation.
No, that means there is no canon. You can come up with your own fanon one.
No, that means we get to make the canon interpretation.
Disagreed.
That's a fun distinction.
I mean, Roma, when you intentionally, I'm a Homestuck fan. When you intentionally create the open space, that means you give it to everybody else to decide it.
I give it to the fans to decide, not you guys.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Fans,
all right.
If you choose some wax.
Put in the comments. Put in the
Quick,
comments
Phils,
what you think COG stands for.
Debate what it is.
Put in the comments what you think Tentabulges are.
I mean, we still we still are the ultimate arbiters of what is canon, because we will choose the one that we like the most.
No, it won't come up.
It
won't come up. We'll just call them COGs. No one's gonna say what the acronym means.
I will literally say it.
I'll kill you.
God. Violent.
Zalan's basically already dead.
Oh, no, we can say it. It's okay. So we say to this guy, or I say to this guy, the Manhattan Project, that was public knowledge. And what was the number?
386. Yeah.
386. We saw that on the sort of. It was masqueraded as a nuclear device, but it was something with a power to it.
It was the design
Right.
of a bomb that would explode in this world and send shrapnel into others.
Huh.
Others, plural. Huh. Like this one.
Yes.
How is this world?
Subway.
How is this world other from the one we come from?
This place is much smaller than the world we come from. The one we come from is vast, nearly infinite. This place is tiny. You enter the woods, they will not let you leave.
But does this place? But did where we were come from this? Did it grow out of this?
I do not know.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So that gate is a one-way trip then, huh?
I suspect you could leave at any time, but only living matter goes through.
Huh.
Gotcha. And I shift back in in my demeanor of the thought is now regarding the cogs differently, as though they are memorials. The way the tone changes in my mind to be like that of a gravestone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was every cog a person?
Not every cog was once a person, but many cogs are occupied by persons.
I recall that Sam, when I told him I snuck into one of their facilities, that he mentioned that they were lucky that they didn't have any units that were my size. I think there's a sort of process of integrating people into them, as just like you, pointing to the doctor.
He's prepping his tools, by the way, for metallurgy. You note that all of his tools are the same metal that makes up his body.
That same black material.
Yeah.
Where did you get the material for those tools?
He points to his wooden arm, and he points to his wooden legs.
Ooh.
Holy
Whoa.
fuck. Resourceful. You seem like quite the engineer.
Yeah, and I reach over and touch one of the cavities where some of my muscles used to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's empathy right there.
I'd like to take a closer look at some of the stuff he's working with.
I mean, he doesn't have any good materials here, really.
Right, no like active projects. I'm just like wondering about like his tools specifically.
Yeah. Whatever can be made of wood is made of wood, but like edges or like tips of things are either plated with metal or are just a bit of metal. Like chisels and stuff like that are just barely bits of metal on wood.
Cool.
You know, you can get away with like having a wooden mallet. His anvil is just a log that is like carved flat and then has like metal flattened on top.
Mm-hmm. It's just like a sheet, basically.
It's it when you're looking at it now, on the like one edge of the anvil, you can see where there are like flattened fingers on the edge of it.
Oh wow. Where they're like fused together, but you can still kind of see like the outline.
Yeah, you can see the outline because they're just like barely folded over the edge.
Cool.
Damn.
This guy's pretty cool.
All right. This guy is really cool. Yeah.
So you said that the conductor who came here before us, they told you that we would be leaving materials here for you to work on. What's your trade precisely? What would you be doing to them?
I think he's been walking around, and unless you've been like really hiding it, I think he's noticed like your gauntlet, or
Oh, I put the gauntlet down in front of me,
right?
Like as a, well, fuck whatever Sheila's saying. Like I'm just gonna drop this here.
Yeah. I think he like gestures to that and gestures to the sword, and he says,
Objects of power like that are often born with a will of their own. I can hammer them into a shape, at least make them more compliant.
That's probably a good idea. I think this thing is trying to kill us, and I like tap it with my hoof.
He walks up like directly in front of you with it, just like it's like between you and like the 2-foot gap, and he looks directly into your eyes, Jack, and he says,
"May I take this?"
Yeah. Do what you gotta.
He reaches down to like pick it up with his wood hand, and it zaps his wooden arm, and it burns a leaf that was like growing off of it, or like burns some leaves that are growing off of his like claw hand.
That's funny.
And he goes, and he holds this up and says,
"Can you blow this out?" Thank you.
And then he scoops down and picks up the gauntlet with his like metal arm. When he does, he like makes contact with it, and like his lights like glow really bright for a second, and he kind of vibrates as he grabs it. And after a couple seconds of like seizing, he steams, and like his ribs like flare open and like vent out heat.
Whoa.
And then he like when he like seizes up, he like flashes blue a few times.
Of course.
And then like comes back to gold and picks it up.
Feisty.
And then he takes it over. He takes it over and throws it in the fire.
Nice.
It starts to like wriggle and try to get out through charcoals, and he just has like a stick, and he just keeps prodding it back in.
Yeah.
That's what you get. Yeah. Roma, I'm gonna come down and get some water and also my phone charger from my jacket pocket.
Yeah, I definitely have to downsize these screens.
Yep.
All right. Who else has a question for the good doctor?
Good doctor, do you have a bathroom in this place? I need to pee.
He looks at you with incredulity, as if saying, "Dude, just go outside."
Will do, BRB.
I think he would actually say,
I did not build a bathroom.
I'll just go outside then. I will also take this opportunity to check on all people, all hood.
"Yeah. You go out there. You know, you piss on your daughter or whatever, and you're
No,
like,
by the way, I'm literally going. BRB, tell me when I come back.
oh, okay. Why is everyone leaving? I guess I'm gonna pause and wait for everyone to come back." And we're back. Zalan goes outside, takes a piss, checks on the babies. The babies are in the yard and they play in.
They're fine, no danger.
Yeah, I think there's a few of the younger ones that are like you got Batsua and what was her name? Savi? What's Batsua's
Yeah,
friend's name?
Savi.
Mhm.
Like, close that note.
They don't know how to swim, so I need them to be careful.
It's Tavi. That's what it is.
Tavi.
Not Savi. Yeah. I mix up Sarael and Tavi, which you should not, Zalan. That would be very age inappropriate.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, you come back and you find that you find a scene of like, well, I'll let Jack and Sheila describe what they're doing, but Dr. Hantayumi is pulling with his bare metal arm out of the fire, the now like limp and a little and like soldering arm, the gauntlet.
Gauntlet? Yeah.
Yeah. When you come back in, he says,
I will fashion this into something to keep you safe.
what are you guys doing? You're like hanging out in his workshop while he's going.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we still have questions for him.
Yeah. I'm just
is
wanting
it
you
cool
to
if
like
we ask you more
pose
stuff while
yourself
you? Yeah,
in the scene.
After when I slung when he took the arm, I would have taken the sling off of the arm, and now I'm like fiddling with that.
Mm-hmm. Just like standing
Just
in a
like
corner.
it has texture. I'm like slightly untwisting it and sticking like just something to fidget with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've
Is Jack Efron fidgeting?
The last couple like months of our lives have been like very active and forward, so I have a lot of like inertial energy built up. I feel like I should be moving or doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is where that is coming out.
Gotcha.
Jack was not originally a fidgeter, and all the activity has maybe made him one.
Gotcha. How about you, Sheila? What are you doing?
I think she just like found like a log or something to sit on, and is like has taken the sword, taken the sheath off the belt, and like holding the pommel in her hands and the tip of the sheath on the floor, and just like with her chin resting on her hands, thinking and talking.
Yeah, it's still in the sheath.
Yeah.
All right. That's the scene you walk
Yeah.
into, Zalan.
And I go,
Who is like, just let us not forget, who's like a crazy looking guy right now compared to us.
Yeah, Zalan's like a monster. You have a giant crab arm.
I have an Akira crab arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, extendo tentacle.
Yeah. Just remind everybody.
Yeah. You come back in and we're asking. We were told once that that bomb was like something about the space between nothing and anti-nothing. Can you make heads or tails of that? Because we've been thinking about it for a long time.
It's specifically about the way to pass over into the subway. There was also some talk about that in reference to the idea of nothing and anti-nothing.
Yeah, the bomb had Metro on it.
Okay. Here's what he says.
Upon the first successful Trinity test, it was discovered that some of the energy from the explosion did not escape the launch pad. It disappeared into a void. That was the first discovery that I know of the space between Project 386 was started to create weapons that could open that gate.
I'm losing it a bit. I need more croak. Time for water. Feel free to ask further questions, by the way.
So then is anti-nothing like other spaces?
In the core of every atom is a massive amount of electromagnetic energy. In the heat and fire of an atomic bomb, they are torn and melted apart. And as they are ripped apart, they pull space along with them. An energy can slip through.
And that splitting of space.
I think you would say like
it was discovered that there is a matching tear on both sides of the veil.
There you go.
And so that split and stuff moving through it is why everything turned gray or gray and black and white when we were in the blast.
I think he nods in the affirmative and smashes one of the thumbs on the gauntlet flat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then those black spires are the tears. We've seen other things make those black spires. Any idea how that works?
Sheila would definitely remember the exact phrasing, but let me find it.
Yeah, what he would say to that is
at the same time, in a different place, in a different lab. When the first conversions to hogs from humans were being conducted, there too they found the same tears that were being created at the Trinity site. building up slowly over time with each sacrifice.
I see.
Sites of great and terrible events.
Yeah. Not that you have that notebook anymore, but you know.
No, Sheila would remember what that guy told us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There was a giant one in the Statue of Liberty. It was so huge. I have no idea what could have caused that. It's like an open prompt. If he doesn't have anything to say about it, then
I think he would say, I think he would ask you,
Do you know when it was created?
no idea. When they put up the statue,
They put up the statue in like the late 1700s, I think. It was a gift from France.
I don't think it was that early.
no, it was 1800s. Like it was because remember it's still copper, like the bright orange copper in an American Tail.
Okay.
So it would have been that time period, like the Ellis Island time period.
1800s. No, I'm gonna look this up. And
Maybe something happened on the voyage.
$1886. No, it was dedicated in 1986. When was it finished?
Maybe the French knew about it the whole time, and it wasn't a gift but a curse. How many people you think died to make the Eiffel Tower? So not the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of
Yeah, but how many people did die to make the Eiffel Tower? That's a real question.
Yeah.
I'm not finding good information about this, but whatever. Pedestal was completed April 1886. October 1886, Grover Cleveland oversaw the dedication of the Statue of Liberty. Okay, so that sounds like about when it was.
It's in
completed.
there. It's in there.
Yeah. 86. Okay. It was a gift from France. I know that.
I think he'd at least be able to tell you that
The spires are artificial phenomena we have never found. As far as I know, none exist in nature. They're all man-made.
he hammers the other thumb flat. He is done with the fingers now. He's working his way down the hand.
Gotcha. Yeah, the last time that we saw that, we were in a helicopter flying away from it, and we saw, I guess, I look up from the rope, like a giant spider. It was unimaginably huge. It was the size of the entire tower. I'd kind of forgotten about the spider. Any idea what that's about? Because it doesn't seem like. I have no idea what that would be, even now. And I like touch my own chest to like drive the point home of like having seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I always just thought it was a machine, but
I think he says that
Project Piro, Project 386, Project Manhattan. They were all massive in scope. And I'm sure they weren't the only secrets that your government was keeping.
Yeah, we discovered a few ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Why do when we encountered cogs before, they were surrounded by brains in jars, and the brains in jars were very cold. Do you know is that part of the process?
When the bodies are removed and the brains are placed into stasis-like state, brain dead, their will lies dormant, but they must be contained so that their will
so that
their knowledge can be brought into the machine.
He said he points. I think he stops what he's doing for a second, and he points to his own head, and he says,
In here is not a single cell of life, but still I hold my own memories.
I see.
He goes back to hammering.
Do you know anything about a man named Vulcan Gray? He's somebody we knew back when we were, well, not this, and I always got the sense that he knew more than he ever let on.
I do not remember many of the faces that I saw back then, but it does not feel familiar to me.
Watch him be just some guy.
Yeah.
How much do you know about?
I don't think anybody would.
Tyson.
I don't think anybody would be just some guy, but yeah. Okay.
Neil was just some guy.
Yeah.
He's not gonna turn out to be just some guy though.
We also ran into a shadow person, I guess.
Yeah,
that
I have a question about that. Do you have any idea why my camera was able to pick up things from the in-between space?
Okay. Yeah. I do. I've got an answer for that. So does he.
The tool is not what can pierce the veil. It is the holder of the tool who does the work. If you were to separate the camera from yourself and have it activate on its own, it would never pick up anything non-physical. But because you were holding it, it could capture things beyond what your eyes could see.
Huh.
And might you have a way to make a camera now?
My tools are crude, and I lack the glass.
You can do it yourself. You can do it in your mind's eye if you put yourself to it. I can help you if you want.
I'd like that, Sheila.
Yeah.
I bet you could even You know, we could do a lot of crazy things. I bet you could probably convert what you see into pictures that, like, you know, pictures.
Hmm.
Huh. Yeah, that's fun to think about. There was a shadow person that we saw once that he took a piece of silver in his left hand and a piece of gold in the right hand, and like a bit of copper at the head, and I didn't know enough at the time to know what significance it was, so I didn't really know what details to hang on to, but it did something, and then he was gone.
What do cop?
Yeah, in your
Copper and
in
gold.
your yeah, I probably have it, but in any of your experiments in this area, do you know what those might do in with, I don't know, psychic powers? I don't know what else to call it.
Ricardo, do you look like you were holding a question back, or were you just letting Tarbut go first?
No, like it makes Electrum. And what happened last session with Electrum?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's what he has to say about different materials. He says that
I had a theory once that different materials of different mass and different properties had different but corresponding representations in other places past the veil. For example, gold was always heavy, silver was cold.
And copper.
Copper was always too high energy to handle.
Too hot. Makes sense. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
too hot makes sense. I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime I say some weird horseshit and someone goes, "Yeah, that makes sense," I always think it's hilarious. I'm like, man, we're all really stupid.
Well, it just slots into the pattern framework that's already been established. It's
Yeah,
impressionistically. It makes impressionistic sense. It doesn't make lexical sense.
Yeah.
I don't know America, right? I know the Eiffel Tower. I keep calling the Eiffel Tower. I know the Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
Right?
Yeah.
Are there any like significant places, something similar to the Statue of Liberty in America, where it's like, oh, this feature thing is gold, or this feature thing is silver?
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh, am I an idiot? For not realizing that the Statue of Liberty being copper is like kind of important?
Yeah. I don't mean yeah as in like you're dumb. I mean yeah as in like I feel.
Yeah, I didn't put that two and two together.
Okay.
When was the Chicago bean built?
The Chicago bean.
That's too new.
Okay.
If I had to guess, so I'm going to say this out loud as Jack. So if I had to guess, then there might be something there with the Statue of Liberty being copper, that archway in St. Louis that's silver, and what? I don't know. The Golden Gate Bridge? That seems like a stretch.
I like it. Jack's cooking.
The Golden Gate Bridge.
I mean, they're kind of in a straight line, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, three's a pattern.
Mm-hmm. Somebody want to? Oh, right. And I like look down at the book. Right. The book told me that thing that you're working on there, and the storm that we just got out of came from the Lightning Lord.
King Aruk.
Yeah. It said that name first, and then was going backwards to the Lightning Lord. I wonder what that means. This is just musing out loud and not actually even necessarily like. That seems like some magic shit. It seems like he doesn't know magic shit.
He knows it.
Yeah, he
From a
like
study
shakes his head.
perspective.
He shakes his head at both of those names. They are meaningless to him.
Hmm.
He
Well-
says,
I've been here a long time. That the ways of the outside world have been completely lost to me.
Hmm.
I hope there's still something out there.
Well, you've definitely interacted with the work of the thing. I don't know what it feels like to you, but like you're glowing gold, and we met an angel who glows gold. Whenever we do our thing to a creature that would have like lights in its eyes or anything like that, if the memory or energy or whatever comes from us, then it's also gold. That thing seems to be blue. We've seen cogs like you before that were purple. When when we when we touch them with void, it turns them red. And now the moon outside of this place is turning pink, which I've never seen before. And there was a lady in a swamp, like some kind of swamp witch that shot green at me. And I've never seen that before either.
I'm really tempted to make him laugh, but I don't think he would. At just like how much you're lining over there.
Yeah.
I think he's finished like hammering. He's like folded over the gauntlet like into basically a brick, and he's like thrown it back in the fire.
Mm,
It is no longer squirming.
that's good.
As it doesn't have any joints left.
The petals on this tree are also pink, the same pink as the moon. Any idea what that's about? You've been here a while.
I think you would say that
In this place, time seems to never pass. I never run out of fuel, and I never run out of time alone. Things don't seem to get. The fish here never eat, and the trees never grow. This tree has been in bloom the whole time I've been here.
and I think you would also add
As for cogs, I've only seen them as myself, and as their default purple glow. The glow comes from the generator embedded in each of our chests.
and he like just opens like opens like the left rib cage, and it like pops open. And you see like a like thrumming. It's like a Tesla coil almost, and then like a smaller Tesla coil nearby it, and he says, oh, his is, you know, his is glowing, like his is like the source of like the gold light coming within him. It is like there's like a almost like a halo of like it's like sending light one way and like sending it the other way, and you can like trace it like neon almost. Just like coiling between them, the space between those two like electric coils. And he says,
regularly, the arcs between both bulb heads are arced together with electricity, and that electricity gives them their signature purple color.
Well,
that electricity gives them their signature blue, and from inside their combustion.
And like he points a little lower, and like in like below like his left rib cage, and like kind of in his like spine, and like right below his ribs, like is like a small engine that is like not moving. And he says,
and this is where they combust their fuel to create the power.
I see. Do you know why you're gold, then?
I think it has something to do with time standing still here and no fuel being needed. I ran out long ago, and I'm still working.
I just think you're being fueled by something else.
The soul, maybe?
Something like that.
That he does let out like a single.
Huh.
It might be true then if you can laugh.
When we were sent to you, when we were told to find you, they described you as a soul survivor. I think they may have been. I think they may have meant that in more ways than one.
I think he laughs at that again. I think he pulls the brick out, and he just like kind of he continues like that weird rhythmic laugh for like almost a full minute. But he continues like diligently working. He starts flattening out this brick.
That's nice.
I have a question. Does VWCV plus sign PF mean anything to you?
Dog, can you write that down for me in the voice chat, so that way I don't have to remember that and construct it in my brain?
I don't remember this.
VWC plus PV? Yeah, is this in voice chat? Where is it at? Club activities?
No, I posted it in the element chat.
Oh. What is this from?
Oh, I remember what this is. Is this like a Samson thing?
Yeah.
Can you narrow it down a little bit for me? Because I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not getting a jogged memory.
This is office number.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
This sequence is meaningless to me.
I'm gonna say that because also, if it meant something, which I don't think it does,
You would remember.
actually, no, it would mean something to him. It would just be like a designation for cogs. It's just like it's literally a serial number.
Mm.
That presumably is just Samson's. Guys, I know it's out there. I know it's canon now, but please don't dead name Samson.
Okay. Huh. Maybe that was why Samson was so cool. Why he was like a person and everything. Because like you've got a soul and you're gold. Samson had a soul and he was gold. At least when we went to where they were holding Emily.
I imagine that might have been because he was in Emily's presence, and just he was, filled with that energy.
Nah, he was cool. Too cool not to have a soul. Like,
Well, fair enough.
and if he didn't, he should have.
I don't disagree.
You point directly to me.
Directly at the camera.
Well,
Jack
that's me
points at the
pointing to
camera.
Sheila.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah, I can only interpret that as pointing directly at the author, like mistake.
Yeah, I guess I'll say to him, the doctor, it's like, yeah, when we were from an older cog, one who wasn't susceptible to the signals that they were pumping out. He helped us. He was a good friend.
He says,
I'm an older model as well. I left soon after being completed.
Completed.
Right.
How? All right. Player talk for a second. Am I just forgetting him telling us how he came to be in this place?
No, he wasn't. I asked him that, and he wasn't super clear on it.
Okay. Do you remember what he did give you?
Roma?
I don't remember what I did give you. I don't think you asked it too directly.
Well, I tried to do that.
Well,
autism is a hell of a drug.
Autism, buddy. That's all I can tell you.
Well,
yeah.
I'm getting a lot of questions flying my way. It's kind of hard to get them all.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask again.
Maybe that was what got missed. You know?
Yeah, I think that is the question of mine that got missed.
Okay. You said earlier that you had a question missed, and you said no, that got answered.
Okay.
I was thinking about a different question, but yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. I've been asking a lot of questions.
I'm gonna say he chops one flat piece off, and he's starting to fashion it on its own over the edge of the table.
Can you tell us about how you came to be here? What process did you undergo in order to find your way all the way back here?
Here's what he's got.
After my transformation, my work seemed to not have much meaning to it anymore. My body was already made immortal, and I lost my motivation. Using my access, I managed to make my way to Aspire, and I walked through myself. On the other side is where I met the man in the red cloak.
And they sent you back here.
He brought me here where I could have time to think. And I've had too much time.
You said
Well, when we get out of here, we could probably, between the three of us, we can probably take you with us if you want to come.
Yeah, you mentioned that only living matter can cross through the barrier, but I wonder if we can exploit some laws to get around that.
Well, I don't like to.
And he like stops. He's like considering your offer.
There might not be a source of fuel for you out there.
And he says, what does he say? He says,
In many ways, this place is a prison. In other ways, it is paradise. But I feel that the man in the red cloak knew what he was doing when he put me here. I think he knew that I would not leave. I think he had plans for me. This plan.
And he like punctuates that by like striking a piece, and he's like taking that piece back, and he holds it in the fire, and then he like goes and like is attaching it. One of them is like a big sheet now. He's like gotten it flattened out like a small surfboard, and he's like adding like reinforcements to it.
You said that only living matter can pass through the barrier?
Yes.
That means that's got to be alive.
That what's got to be alive? Oh,
gesturing to what he's working on.
I let that one hang because that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I now have hope that he could probably pass through.
Well, tell you what. When we get out of here, the plan is to save the future. All that stuff that you went through back in our time. We're gonna try and stop that from ever being an option in the first place. Oh, you wouldn't know this. Yeah, when we go back through that gate, we're at the dawn of time. I think it's like some Bible stuff. Don't worry about it.
Does Jack say that?
Yeah.
You know what?
That's fair.
You know what? I think we've been like going on this for such a long time. Like
we could put together. Yeah. Like there's obviously some.
Like we met an angel that's like this is kind of a Garden of Eden. That's close enough. Sure.
Yeah, completely.
I love the math going on in Jack's brain.
Yeah. And so when we get out of here, we're going to try and save the future. When that's done, if we don't have to sacrifice ourselves in the process, we're going to come back for you, man. Nobody left behind.
I appreciate your help. I hope that your mission is successful. I'll do my best to help you here and now.
I
appreciate it.
I think he finishes the thing he's working on. You know, he's going. He has that machine precision, so he's quick. And he flips it up and off the table. And he's like rounded it also. And he has like flattened the gauntlet into like a giant but thin great shield in like the shape of a surfboard. And cool. He takes it and he tosses it to you, Jack.
All right.
It's it's quite light, but also very very sturdy to like your strength. In fact, you notice that one of the things that makes it really sturdy is that whenever you grab it, your fingers are lifted off just a bit from the actual material. And like you twisting against it is just like you pushing down on air just a little bit more, but it gets like harder and harder. Do you slip it on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, when you slip it on, it's a little narrow. You know, like I said, it's like a surfboard. It would cover like most of your body pretty well. Against like if you're like dueling one guy with a sword, you'd be totally fine. But when you put it on, you can feel it like thrum, and when you like grip the end, there's like a handle, and if you squeeze it together, it like that barrier around it of air like gets thinner and like spreads out in like a half circle in front of you, and you can see like where there's dust on the floor that just like gets sliced through as it's like pushed out of the way.
Cool.
That's some separation right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yep.
There you go. You have a super shield.
Yeah. The separator.
Feel free to workshop the name. You're in the right place.
The separator.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll walk up to him and present him Gilgamesh.
Okay. Do you take it out or does he take it out?
I take it out.
Okay. Here's what happens. When you take it out, it like...
And I prepare myself.
Yeah.
For the worst.
It is like very firm in its placement, and you're like pulling it out is like dragging against it. Like it's like clawing and grabbing. And you pull it out and it's like creaking and groaning like it's a and the it's creaking and groaning like a collapsing warehouse, and there's and suddenly the scabbard like cracks at the top, like around where the hilt would be. You get, by the time you get it out, about like, I don't know, 6 inches or so, and then it cracks and you like stop, like oh shit, and then that crack like shoots down the whole scabbard. And it like rips the scabbard like in half that way, and the blade, which is like black and like silver on the edge, like spreads and splits in half into like a twin blade.
Oh my fucking god.
And then like the scabbard is like fused, and like it's just like it's like pressure fused itself and wrapped itself around the sword, and it's in like a slight V shape. The center of it is like metal that has been just pulled apart and like torn. So it's like it's like raw and chunky and haphazard, but still like sharp and dangerous, like a sharpened club. Like it's like a nailed through bat almost. And the sword is like the teeth are kind of apart, and then it like as it does that, it like, or like once you see that, it, or once you're holding it, the pommel gets a little bigger, by the way.
Okay.
As like it kind of all like it is like resettling and wrestling in your hands. And the like teeth of the two swords like an animal like chomped together twice.
Yeah. This thing's hungry.
Yeah, and then it settles as like two blades that are like slightly spread apart, just big enough for an arm to slip through.
Yeah. I have a request. She says as she like, presents it to him.
He says he seems moderately freaked by it.
Yeah.
Which, considering his lack of skin, is it probably means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell happened to that thing? That is bad news.
Amelia.
That's a lot worse than it was.
She must have.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Which is what my request pertains to. If you can separate the gold from the hunger in this thing, I think that might be valuable. But if you can't, I understand.
I think you would say, I
don't think I have the tools or the strength to pull those two apart.
That's fair.
Read the separation super move.
Yeah. Without destroying or remove a piece from the whole, oppose regression.
That could be a terrible idea.
Yeah, because what if you remove that hunger, what does it turn into? But
exactly. Without knowing what this place was, I kind of wanted to do that before entering, but
yeah. Do you think? What could you do with this? Do you think? It's in quite the sorry state, I know, but
I think he would say that.
Blunt scissors are only good for sharpening, and I think this is a weapon best left unpolished.
that's fair.
what do you think you can even do with that now? It looks like it's... looking at it, looks like it's going to leap out at me.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Sheila, before when you had your scabbard, you at least had the feeling of like if you were to drop this or leave it somewhere that it would come back to you. It doesn't feel like that anymore. It feels like this thing will leap at the first target it's presented with.
Damn. I don't have... fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, what don't you have? You don't have the key. You don't have the red key for the red door.
I don't have the red third separation point for the dissociate door. That'd be a blue key, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Doom has 3 keys. It has a blue key, a red key, and a yellow key.
Yeah. The primary colors.
Hmm.
Yeah, so do you have anything else you would like to ask him? Since he has got your gauntlet is now in a much more usable state.
Yeah.
In fact, it now has a clear and direct use instead of being, I don't know, it's scary.
Yeah. Well, I think the book is probably in the best state that it can be in already anyway. Huh. Actually, this seems like a good idea, and I like hand the Hmm.
Hmm.
I like set the shield down. Like, what do we think? Put the sword and the shield together. Maybe like that seems like a good combination. Or and then I look at Zalan like, I mean, you don't have a cool thing. Do you want a cool thing?
I don't know if I describe my thing
That
as
way
cool anymore, but
That way you wouldn't have to, you know. It looks like
I'm
it
looking
looks to
at
me
you.
like relying on hunger is a bad move. I mean, look at the sword now.
yeah.
Actually, Dr. Hantayumi would speak up here and say,
Maybe we could reforge your friend into a better shape.
Whoa.
You wanted power, right?
What do you mean by that?
I think he would just, like, with his wooden hand, like, gesture to the rest of him.
No. But thank you for the offer, though.
Huh. Well, I thought it was a good idea.
We could at
We can
least,
find other ways.
if you want them removed, we might be able to perform some surgery. So I can't promise it won't be painful.
Okay,
If you
I want
need
to
it.
play a talk.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think it's a good idea to remove the golem core? Because if we're gonna do anything, if he's gonna change anything about me, it might be good to remove the golem core.
I think the golem core is the one thing that you should keep.
Mm,
Because that thing's really cool and I want to know what it does.
Yeah, you're carrying that around in your
At
gut.
a meta level, I don't think that we should be like
Fucking with it.
I mean, I don't think that bargaining at hunger is a good move. I think that the altered beast fused state, all of it is bad.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of the mutations that you've got?
I have a mental list. Like
Write it down.
fish.
Got a fish. You
Yeah,
got fish
yeah.
back. I remember you got fish back.
I have fish lungs. Yeah, I have like gills. I have like fish throat. I have like lizard.
That
Like
Jack
lizard
had fish
back.
throat. You both had? Did you both have it?
Yeah, we both had fish.
We both have first. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I have
uncreative,
like
guys.
it was useful for both of us at the same time.
Yep.
I have like weird like lizard scales on like my elbows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my back as well.
Got crab
And the
arm.
crab, yeah, and the crab arm, and that's it.
Honestly, I think going like, huh. I'm intrigued by why you would say no to his first offer, because like we saw what Samson was able to do.
I think. Hmm. We're gonna come back to him, right? Like at least.
When
At
have
least
we ever come back to one of these people?
Hey, Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
I think Janai is trying to say something to you.
Yeah. What's up? What's up?
I think Janai would uh tell you, Sheila, that she doesn't want to watch Zalan be destroyed any farther.
Yeah.
Take that in whatever way you choose to take that.
I mean, I feel like I get what she means,
Which is
which is that this body should be. She wants this body to be preserved.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like cogging him up would be killing Zalan original.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to do it. Cause like,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, now that we're gestured in that direction, that makes sense.
If
And
replacing
like,
if replacing what is there is not an option, then maybe we can take away the means of transformation.
And he points to his own jaw. I think actually he doesn't point to his own jaw. He puts his hand up to his jaw and then like clicks a thing off and then like pulls it away. And then he puts his jaw back on.
It is instantly fascinating that. Wait, how do you know that came from eating? That's interesting.
I
Is that what Samson meant by seeing cogs eat?
Yes, some cogs that were not some cogs that were handled
not misappropriately. That sounds like there was sexual misconduct happening against cogs, which is not the case. Cogs that were handled
cogs that were controlled incorrectly. They could occasionally go rogue, and they would attack their controllers. They would eat their specimens before a transfer could be made. Cogs like that had to be disassembled and melted for scrap. Changing any one piece would not quell their hunger.
feel like that tells you something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the level of context we're getting right now is crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that I can still pull it out, I'm still pulling it out, means that I wonder what questions we
Mhm.
haven't asked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I thought the cogs were doing that because like they wanted to be human.
No, I'm just hungry.
Yeah, that's being overrun by their red nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hunger doesn't come from the soul. It comes from the body.
That's a bar. Oh my god.
I mean, the conductor said that last session. No, the session before
Yeah.
last.
Hunger doesn't come from the soul; it comes from the body.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I was gonna say, who's reading my notes?
You said that to us.
I know.
Much to think. I mean,
Well, Zalan, I'll just let you know. He offered to break and remove your jaw.
We're not even gonna entertain that.
We have other ways of like. I wasn't always like this, and while I took a shortcut to, and I like gesture at the hole in my side again. The way I think if there's a way to fix him, it's going to be the same way that we made that glove, the first or that gauntlet the first time. We did a magic thing, and to make it,
So-
I barely know how to describe it to you.
I mean, simply put, we separated the power, the impulse, from the person.
Hey, Hoshama. Like as a player, I'm like, we can test it on the Hoshama first. See what happens if you remove the hunger from him.
Yeah. We have a guinea pig.
It's a bad way of describing the Caprine. I don't think our
Yeah.
viewers will approve of this methodology.
Yeah, I have moral
Well, see, if we were actually gonna do that, I would want to say to Hoshama, look, we have a thing that we can try to pull you apart from at least most of this hunger, but it might kill you.
Do you want to try? Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, like leave the decision up to him. Is how I would do it. Now, I as a player am dastardly trying to bait him into doing something that is potentially risky because I want to know what happens. As Jack, I would be offering for altruistic reasons. Like entirely. And also because I already know that or I'm already very confident that Zalan is not going to want to do it.
That is the correct assumption.
Not going to want to even try. Wait, hang on. I like aim my attention at Zalan and I like let the book go where it's going to go. I want to see how many people Zalan comes up as.
Oh my god. This is like an intervention.
I think when you do that, the book flits all the way forward to Danny D. His last name being forever mysterious. And It
That
stops
means
there.
Jack knows what the D is. It stops there?
Yep. That's,
Oh, shit.
that's all
That's
that's there.
evil. That's evil, Roma. That's evil.
I now just straight up sit like, wait a minute. That, and I look at the book and I look back up at you. I turn the attention towards Sheila Janai, and I like flex the book and see what it does.
It flips to it. If you open at the beginning, it flips forward. It gets to Janai. It stops. It blinks. It flips forward. It blinks. It blinks. Like gold. Flips forward all the way up to almost the end, and it gets to Sheila, and it flashes gold, and it stops.
It blinked pink on Dr. Hantayumi, didn't it?
Yeah. It did.
Okay. Okay.
Blinked Pink is my new punk rock name.
Yeah, blinked.
Blinked pink. Okay. I set it back to the Danny D page, and I'm like, when I connected to Ephron, the other half of myself, we were in a room, and like I'm transmitting the imagery as I'm saying this. We were in a room, the starting room, and there was fire everywhere, and he was nearly consumed. It was going to cook him to death. And I was able to stop it just in time, and he was burned. But he was there, and he is here. There's only enough of us now to be one of us. And I like putting my other hand on the gap now, but like in a way that gestures not to the gap, but to the flesh beneath the gap. The book is only pointing to you. How do we like that as a moment break?
Yeah, like as a stopping
Like as an
point.
episode break. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. That gives us all much to think about. You were gonna spend a while here resting before you all went back out, anyways. So
Yeah.
I like giving us some time.
I specifically intend to try and connect directly to the pink energy in the tree and see what happens.
Oh boy.
I like it.
Well, maybe we'll see that next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I wonder if I can do some smithing.
Does Sheila or Janai? Well, Janai doesn't know, but does Sheila? Know?
Sheila, in a past life, was pretty handy, if you recall.
Okay. They didn't have YouTube videos of people forging swords back then, so
No, but I don't mean to say that. No, I don't think she would. We'll see. We'll see.
Was Sheila a Renaissance fair girl?
Yeah, for sure. And like, also,
really,
like her dad taught her how to build and take apart like printers and stuff.
We both listened to a podcast about what the early Renaissance scene was like, or early Renaissance fair scene was like. And there was a big one in Texas. That's part of the gimmick that we're going for here.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where we're gonna end off.
Byliners.
Byliners.
Freaky episode, lots of information and good times. And see you next time.
I'm gonna go eat pizza.
Heck yeah. The rest of the pizza in there, I think, is yours. You had 2 slices.
Oh fuck yeah! I have so much pizza to eat.
Because I ate all 5 of my slices.
Oh hell yeah!
because I hadn't had any other food today.
Neither have I. But I also woke up at 6
Yeah, that's true.
or
Mhm.
5.
I like to think that I do the peace sign in the most viscerally uncomfortable way to look at possible.
Yeah, no, that looks weird.
Yeah,
That
and that's what we're
that
gonna
has-
sign off with.
Yeah.
That might just be a gang sign.
That has the same energy as like the Ninja Turtles trying to like point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where it looks like they're like pointing with their middle finger.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Goodbye, liners.
Secret of the ooze.